Hello everyone, welcome to Super Coaching UPSC by Textbook. This is Venkatesh. Today I'm coming up with a very important technique or a strategy which is needed. That is nothing but the art of making notes for our UPSC Prelims exam, be it for the this year 2024 or in general about how to prepare notes for prelims exam of our UPSC civil services. We all know our syllabus is very vast. Anything under the sun is a syllabus for us, right? With this vast syllabus, with a huge amount of demand and the availability of resources, books, availability of various diverse nature of the material which we study, it is essential that we need to understand how to prepare the note making for us, which will guide you, help you to clear and ace this examination. At the same time, you can actually control the preparation process through your note making. This is a very important thing. Many of you, often while preparing, you will be having so many confusions whether to prepare these notes or not, whether not to prepare these notes digital, or is it about note making on the paper, whether it is about copying about the toppers or not, what to use and all these things we will try to discuss in this one video where we'll try to resolve all your queries, right? So the first thing for you while you're trying the art of note making for UPSC Prelims 2024, there is almost around 120 to around 120 days, 130 days left over for your prelims 2024. So try to use this knowledge, try to use these kind of things for your exam. For example, understand why do you need notes? What is the necessity of a notes? For example, the reason for a notes necessity is the day before the exam, say May 26, 2024 is your date of prelims, the D-Day. So the day before the exam, we need to have a quick revision of all the major topics in one go, of not just one subject, of so many subjects. Of course, it is not humanly possible to revise all the things at one go, but definitely the last week, it will help you to memorize, to recollect whatever you have studied, be it now onwards until the day of the exam, be it the last 6 months, be it around the last 1 year, everything. This is the opportunity for you, right? So the first thing you need to understand is you have to prepare notes for the quick revision. It is meant for the a very quick revision. So you need a proper quick revision before the exam. That is why it is very much needed. I think is the audio video clear for all of you? Let me check if you have any doubts, if you are any commenting. Right. Okay. So for a quick revision, you need proper notes. Then when you study about so much vast resources, you need to consolidate, align, organize all at one place. Consolidate all the revisions at one place, be it the static portion, be it the current affairs. About one particular topic, you need to align, consolidate at one place. This is very important. And definitely, as I tell you, while you are preparing notes, you have to keep into considerations that it is meant for managing your time. What is the utility of a quick note? What is the utility of a note making? To manage time, to understand the things. Then the last but not the needs. This note making is meant for aligning with the needs of the exam. So the needs, whether you talk about alignment of the needs, whether you talk about the time crunch, whether you talk about consolidating all the things at one place, whether you talk about a quick revision, this is the crux of why do you need note making. Then the second thing which you need to consider is the second thing. The first dimension you have discussed is why you have to prepare notes. The second dimension which we prepare is, which we need to know is, why we have to, what you need to remember about making notes is, never ever copy notes of the toppers. Often we are fascinated by the toppers, that this fellow has done this much wonderful notes and all. I will go and check all these notes and put it at one go. No. Once again, that becomes an additional source of you for reading, but definitely not for revision. The ones which you prepare, you need to design your own notes. For example, one of you are really good at, say, diagrams. You design your notes in a diagrammatic way, in a flowchart way. Some of you are designing or really having confusions with respect to remembering about, say, countries which are having a border with, say, recently so many countries are in news. Say one country which is in news, the Yemen. Which countries are having a having boundary with Yemen? What are the key places of the Red Sea? There might be a debate. So there might be a confusion for you in terms of remembering the countries part of the Red Sea region as such. You prepared a shortcut, so you can have abbreviate your own way. So all these are unique techniques, skills needed, which are meant for you, right? When it is meant for you, I want you to prepare notes only for yourselves, keeping your needs, your thinking, which will suit perfectly to your needs. So design your own notes, right? Your own notes, keeping mind maps into consideration. Mind maps, right? You can keep into considerations the things like, flow charts. You can have proper diagrams, right? You can have proper abbreviations, right? Don't forget to use shortcuts. Don't write all the things elaborately, grammatically, continuously. One line should be able to recollect. Objective of the index, objective of a note making should be, note making is for getting eyeballs, for catching the eyeballs, for able to recollect the things which you have studied. So that's why use mind maps, flowcharts, diagrams where needed, abbreviations needed, wherever you find shortcuts and all. You prepare shortcuts which suit to you wherever you have read at one place, right? This is the first thing. Design your own thing. Then the third thing which you need to do for definitely is, okay, deconstruct the syllabus for note making. Deconstruct the syllabus. Deconstruct the syllabus. Now, which topic to prepare notes, which topic not to prepare notes? Who is the guiding factor? Guiding factor should be the syllabus. Which topic to be prepared? Who is the deciding factor? Syllabus. Then deconstruct the syllabus. Learn previous year questions, PYQs, to understand the key topics, to understand the depth of these things. Then which topic to be prepared? Learn from the syllabus. Divide the syllabus. Divide the syllabus. Say, for example, while you are preparing for prelims, geography, certain section of the notes, polity, certain sections of the notes, economy, certain section of the notes. It has to be at one go. Within geography, divide the syllabus into even subjects, subtopics, if needed, even micro topics as well. Micro topics as well. Always use blank notes, right? Use blank papers. Use blank papers rather than a book, so that you can attach wherever it is necessary, isn't it? then you can mold them at one place, right? So have a file, put it at one place, try to write, and put it all at one place later on. Okay, don't buy a book simply. If you buy a book, yes, you can also do that. It is not like this is very much needed for you, but this would be one thing which would be very, very useful. Use blank papers instead of a book. That would be easier thing, or otherwise you can customize. See, ultimately it is not meant that this is the method which you are doing. You try to understand what is the method and what is the technique, learn lessons out of this session which we are discussing, and try to have a proper execution of what is needed from your side, right? It is, the idea is to make you to think on the what lines which we need to have the notes, and then accordingly you can also customize, right? So use blank papers. That is another kind of thing which I'm trying to tell you. Then art of note making. When you're talking about the arts of note making for your prelims 2024, you should have known that there has to be a static portion, there has to be a current affairs portion as well. All are equally important, right? Then you have to align them. What you need to do later on? We need to static, we need to integrate them. Static and current affairs, we need to integrate. For example, how we need to integrate? So while you are preparing a topic in the static portion called straits of the world, straits, say I'm giving an example called straits of the world, we'll discuss about many straits. Let's say for example like the Babel Mandap Strait, right? Similarly, in the current affairs, you need to add another thing. For example, the Bering Strait. You have a topic where we are talking about the Northern Sea route. Then important straits part of the Northern Sea route. Straits part of the Northern Sea route. Current affairs. This thing, are we doing the proper maps or not? Maps, right? So it's all about maps here. We need to do this in the maps. So this is very, very important. Say whether it is geography, economy, or any other subject, it is very, very important. For example, I will tell you about one more thing. We need to prepare Parliament as a static portion. Then, as elections 2024 approaches, you can integrate these two accordingly with respect to the current affairs of happening until say April 15th, April 20th. Say 1 month at least, by until the end of the month of April, you can prepare the current affairs out of that. From May first week or the April last week onwards, you can slowly reduce the amount of utility from the current affairs, but you should not ignore newspapers then also. So you can just identify some important trends, things. For example, a government project which is in news in February, there might be an important article which will come in May as well, which will help you to recollect. I still remember while I was preparing for one of the prelims exam, I have studied a topic called biofuels from the newspapers in detail when it was discussing on the day before the exam. Tomorrow is prelims. Today I am seeing some latest current affairs news about biofuels. Indirectly, it helped me in terms of preparing for this exam. Indirectly, the next day while I was preparing for this exam, I got some kind of additional information from that article. So definitely you can also prepare in that way. So this is very, very important. The Parliament and the elections 2024, the linkage, the static portion need to be clubbed with the current affairs. And this you need to do with every subject. See, remember one thing. While I'm preparing about a certain topic, the quick summaries, the quick things are helping you to recollect that particular topic completely. For example, there are so many concepts as you read about climatology in geography, or whether you talk about inflation in economy, or when you talk about, say, a topic like parliament, fundamental rights and polity, or you can talk about ecosystems, biodiversity in environment, okay, any topic, or history, the regulating acts, okay, or else about the chronological events, or about the major movements of Indian history. All these things will fall into place in terms of understanding. Say 2024 happens to be 100 years of 1924. What are the major events happened in 1924? You can link that way as well. So while you're preparing notes, once you prepared notes, you can concentrate on certain things and you can link it. Once you learn about certain topic, you can add the current affairs from that in the next topic as well. Say tropical cyclones. There is a topic called tropical cyclones. We will prepare about tropical cyclones, all the static portions, and then you can integrate with the current affairs happened last year, in the last few years, which was in news, right? So this is very, very important. So what I'm trying to tell you is how to prepare notes. I'm just trying to give an example using shortcuts, how and my actual notes will be there, right? So what is a tropical cyclone? I will say that tropical cyclone is so maybe I'll take a flow chart. Tropical cyclone, low pressure area in oceans. That's it, oceans. Okay. Then I will say that oceans. Then I can also use some colors if needed. Oceans, yes. Land. So it never occurs on land. So tropical cyclones always occur on the oceans, never on the land. So then I will use this point like this. Then I will try to about conditions needed. For example, sea surface temperatures of 26 degrees Celsius. That's it. Sea surface temperature. Then Coriolis. That's it. Coriolis force. Then something like, latent heat. What is latent? Hidden. Latent means hidden. Then there is some more points I have discussed. Say wind shear. What is wind shear? Vertical variations of wind speed. Vertical wind speed variations. These are the things which should not be there. No, wind shear, vertical variation should not be there. Okay. Then I will put into here. Wind shear, vertical wind speed variation should not be there. Everything should be similar from the surface level to the upper atmosphere for a cyclone. So you have to just give a simple points here and leave it. Then there are other points. So two more points you have. Small existing weak disturbances, upper anti-divergence, that's it, right? Then there is another point. What is that? Upper air divergence. The moment upper air divergence, etc. Then what you need to do? Simply draw a diagram. Okay, high pressure area, air moving out, air divergence. Just draw this diagram. That's it. Now tomorrow when you read about cyclones, these should be the points which should come across, right? This is what you need to have. Then when you are talking about, say, something like current affairs. Current affairs about tropical cyclones. Say we have cyclone Migjong, which has hit the coast of Chennai in December 2023. Any particular point which you need to remember about that? That's it. Leave it. So now you have a concept, a current affair at one place, and you are all having at one place. So that way what will happen? Tomorrow tropical cyclone, in a span of 1 minute, 1 second, the more you revise, that timing also will be falling down, no? For example, once you revise, after that if you do it, then the timing would be falling down. So it should be sample of a tropical cyclone while you are preparing. It has to be, remember that it is simple, it is precise, okay, simple and precise. No more complexity. It should be simple. For example, similarly, when you're talking about parliament, say how to write in. For example, the objective is complexity of a topic. You have to cut it down to simple. Complexity, you have to cut it down to simple. When you are UPSC also expects such kind of aspirants. Indian society is very complex. Indian society has so many dimensions. It has so many variations within our society. When you have such kind of complexity involved, it is the task of the administrator to deconstruct the things and identify what are the key areas and how to look forward, right? So keeping that into considerations, I would expect you to focus on these things. The complexity should be done into simplified. The more you do about these kind of things, the better it is for you. Otherwise, it will be having wide challenges. Please remember this. This is very, very important, right? Complexity should be molded into simplified. Then when you talk about parliament, okay, so let us see about how do you draw about the parliament. So parliament comprises of Lok Sabha. Need not write everything in detail. Lok Sabha, president. Maybe now I am writing, otherwise you can say press, right? Lok Sabha plus president plus Rajya Sabha, right? Then articles, say articles, if I am not wrong, 79 onwards. 79 to, I think if I am not wrong, it is 122, right? 79 to 122. Just put it there, right? Then right? So when you talk about these kind of things, these are points are very, very important. Okay, Article 79, yes, 122. Then when you talk about, once you have written that, Lok Sabha, how many members you have? Members. What is the qualification? What is the disqualification you have? Disqualification you have. Put it at one place. Similarly, Rajya Sabha, members. How many members you have? No, 250, not more than 550, right? Not more than 550, 250. Then what is the qualification you have? What is the method of disqualification you have? Just put it at one place. Then you can talk about the presiding officer, the speaker, their qualifications all. Similarly, presiding officer. Just simple points, all at one place. So with that, when you prepare in this structure, it is useful. Then why president? So maybe conceptually, why? Say passage of the bill. Passage of bill. Now, some concepts also you have to simplify and put it at one place. So while you read a source called Lakshmikant, put it at all at one go, so that the opportunity of revising Lakshmikant is falling down, right? So see, the objective of a sample or any kind of note making is to not to revise once again the books, the textbooks all at one place. Okay, it is not like you are not doing it. You will be preparing again, but this should be the base. So always, art of note making, one important technique which you need to remember is prepare note making after one revision, after one complete reading, only in the first revision. So prepare static notes from the first revision. first revision onwards. Never from the first reading. Never from the first reading. This is one of the learnings. Why it is needed here? Because when you prepare from the static notes, from the first revision, it will help you to revise about which topic not to read, what should be the significance, identifying all the priorities and all, you will understand. In the first reading, you will try to put it everything into the book. It is almost like a note making of the notes, right? Lakshmikant itself is like a note. Then from the note making, once again creating another notes. There is one more challenge, isn't it? Right? So prepare static notes from the first revision onwards, never from the first reading. Right? This should be the very, very key thing which you need to recollect. Then do it consistently. Do it consistently, not for around one topic and leaving about the remaining things. Then what will happen? Once again, you have to run behind, right? Consolidate. So don't forget to integrate static with current affairs, with government schemes. Don't try to forget the integration. Okay. Then another learnings we all had was never miss about the then another learning is use proper mind maps, diagrams. The key word for it is customization. Right? Keywords for this is customization. So you need to customize according to what do you need, not like around doing this. Once you do this art of note making in this way, once you try to be consistent, cover all the syllabus, integrate with them, put it at one place, it will be really useful. Then when you are doing it, sometimes you also you might be using around digital and you can also use digital mode. For example, even in digital mode, in note making, use the same logic. Different notepads, different colors, For example, even while I'm using my phone, while I'm using my phone, I still have around some of my notes in my phone where I have colored with it. For example, here, I can clearly see it here. There are different ranges here. You might not be, it's not visible here. So definitely there is a list. Geography topics at one go, environment topics at one go, disaster management topics at one side, any new current affairs, I'll try to dump there at one place. Then within that also subtopics, climatology, geomorphology, Indian geography, Indian economic geography, Indian human geography, Indian physical geography. Like that, as I have divided, everything is available at one place when I wanted to check it. So what will happen? Any kind of new integration of the static portion with the current affairs you have made as part of physically with respect to digitally, then also you can club it. So digital mode plus the physical mode. That also you can club it all also. These are very, very key things to do. Ultimately, remember one thing. The objective of note making is definitely to make it simpler, precise, and come at one place. For example, if geography happens to be a difficult subject, you have to have must and should, you have to prepare notes. If say polity is your strong subject, and you are already having decent amount of linkages in Lakshmikant, then even underlining within Lakshmikant also is more or less sufficient. Ultimately, the revision is for note making, for quick grasp of the topic. Remember, that is the priority. For me, I have seen that whichever the topics where I feel very, very uncomfortable, the moment I had around my notes, that made me to realize the topic, recollect the topic very, very easily. That helped me a lot better. Some of the people also do two notes, quick notes and also a elaborative notes. So some people also follow some strategies, which you can also see is what you say is uh, quick notes versus elaborate notes. For example, the elaborate notes which you prepare, from that also very shortcut also you can prepare very shortcuts, and also click an elaborate notes which is able to recollect all those notes through a quick note. For example, you have done a tropical cyclones, a quick thing, that also you can summarize even further as well. That is also another technique deployed by some people. It is all about what is needed for you, what is definitely not needed for you, how can you prioritize. You can do that, and you can align these things according to the needs of you. Remember the final word, customization is the key, recollecting is the key. Anything which you do for these two, it is all good. There is no particular strategy that this works, this doesn't work. What is this is, these are the two things. And when you are linking current affairs, reading about current affairs, there are so many sources. Many of you follow the textbook platform as well. You can integrate. You can also integrate the knowledge which you derive from previous year questions as well at one place. So ultimately, ability to recollect and also the ability to re-energize whatever the data you had in your notes, in your phone, in your laptop, in your iPad, in your tablets. That is what the key thing is. I hope you all have understood this. If you wanted to get this PDF file, with annotations, whatever I have written, you can get into my Telegram channel. I'll be providing you all these kind of things. And you can always, any doubt in terms of note making and all, you can interact with me by asking with me in the direct interaction, doubt solving and all. And there are some kind of quiz which I'll be regularly conducting around some kind of polls. You can check about some of the events of current affairs even in my Telegram channel. That's it for today. Hope you all have understood about what is the necessity of note making and how you are utilizing for your benefit. Remember, once again, note making is meant for management of time, right? Hope you have used your time very efficiently here. Until we meet next time, a goodbye all of you. Take care, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you.